What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Episode 6, Season 3. How we doing? How are we doing? Football is in full effect. Week 1 done. Yeah.
It's like here, but it's not. I don't know if I would say full effect yet.
Yeah. It's starting to feel like it outside. It's got that fall weather.
Yeah, like the whole day today. Even though it was sunny, it was kind of
chilly.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'd say cool, not chilly.
The thing is, what's nice is like once the sun goes down, then it's like that. Okay, long sleeve, sweatshirt.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Now it's like legit cool.
Yeah, cool. Leaves are about to start changing maybe someday soon. But yeah, we're almost there, man. It's beginning of September. Year's almost over.
I would say it's mid-September. It's what, the 12th?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first few weeks of September. It's
crazy.
Know,
man. I don't know. Well, thanks for joining us. We're going to jump in.
Bang, bang. Let's do it right away. Minnesota Minute. Twins, first place in our division, 75-68. 75 and 68. They're playing the Tampa Bay Rays right now, and then they play at the White Sox. Vikings, tough loss. Buccaneers,
Tough
week
loss.
1. They have to play tonight against the Eagles in Philadelphia. Also not an easy matchup. Gopher football, 2-0. They beat Eastern Michigan last weekend. Big matchup this weekend. They go to North Carolina. Minnesota United tied New England, so decent.
Okay.
Play Salt Lake Saturday, decent. Right on that playoff hunt, so we'll see what happens.
Need it.
It's close. There it is.
All right.
There it is.
Love it.
The 4 main sports.
Baseball.
3 main sports.
Football.
Soccer. That's happening right now. Basketball's not yet. We're on the corner.
Almost.
Prepping.
Prepping. Let's do roundtable next. What do you got for college football?
I don't have anything for college football. I have actually something I've just spoke about NBA. Talk about NBA.
Oh yeah, let's do NBA.
So we're bringing NBA's obviously coming back. USA lost to Canada in the 3rd place game, FIBA World Cup. Took 4th place. What the fun fact is now all of a sudden you got all these guys who are superstars committing.
Yeah.
Or LeBron James is basically putting together a super team to say, hey, we're not doing this again. I'll get the guys. We're good.
Okay, but
isn't it crazy to think, though, it's like one of those things like, it's almost like it seems like, okay, we put a team out there, like compared to high school.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay, now the varsity boys that start, that are the best, are just going to be like, we got this. Yeah. You guys had your chance. Thanks for playing. Kind of embarrassing to take 4th place. Not the worst thing, but okay, it is what it is. Now we're coming in. This ain't happening again.
Yeah, but like, where's the line? So like, okay, LeBron says he's in.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you're probably going to take LeBron, right?
Right.
Even though he's a little older.
Mm-hmm.
So you got LeBron. Then you got other guys who are rumored to say that they're in, like Steph,
Durant,
KD,
Tatum.
Yeah. Okay. So you got those 4.
Yeah.
But like, what's the line where it's like, okay, if this person commits, it's like, wait, are they like for sure on the team?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
think
think
like you got LeBron. Okay, yeah, sure. Like he's for sure.
I mean, all those guys.
Steph, KD, Tatum. Okay, that's 4.
I mean, Dame if he wants. Dame is on the team. Devin Booker's on the team. I think you almost.
But like, where's the line? So just start naming them.
I agree. I mean, here's the thing: is
that's
the players
6.
that are here. Like you have Ant. Okay, but like I hate to be that guy, but I think like I don't think Justin Jackson.
Who?
JJ or whatever his name is, guy for the Grizzlies.
Oh, Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson. I don't think he makes it. See ya.
Wasn't he a defensive player of the year?
Supposed to be, and he averaged 1.5 rebounds in the cup. Okay, so you're done. Jalen Brunson. I don't know if we need to put another point guard, so you might be gone. I'm just saying, I know it's like where.
Well, like start naming off the guys that you think are like first. Like if they commit, then they're on.
So like, every guy we just named.
Yeah, that's
Ant's
so
good.
You think Ant's on?
I think Ant's on. Yeah, I think Ant's on. I think next year Ant's on.
That's 7.
So that's 7. I think then you have if Jaylen Brown wanted to play. I think Jaylen Brown can play.
You think he commits and he's for sure on the team?
Yeah, compared to the guys that we had this year, yes.
Well, yeah, but there's a bajillion guys that you could do that for.
Yeah, but name another USA guy. Okay, so like, who would you say is not above Jaylen Brown? See, it's hard to think of just United States guys though.
De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, De'Aaron Fox is in. That's
Jimmy
8.
Butler.
I don't think Jimmy Butler. No, I think Jimmy Butler doesn't want to play.
Well, I mean,
because he knows he's gonna have to carry the squad next year. You don't want to play.
Yes,
if he commits, sure, I'll take him over Jaylen Brown.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if these are guys that are like, if they commit, are they for sure on the team without like having to say like, no, you actually have to like try out or whatever?
I would say so. I would say after this year, after taking 4th place, it's a complete revamp. If so, those 9 guys, if we can get a 10 guys, sure, then we can start talking potential.
Well, I think it's 12. I want to say 12.
Okay, so 12 guys. If we get 12 guys, then we can start talking. I think you just revamp the whole thing.
Well, I think it's 12 total guys. So, like, if you have 12 guys, then
you're done.
What do you? Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's what I think.
They don't have to go search or, like, try out or anything?
I think there's maybe a potential for tryout for some of those guys, but the top 5 guys, you're starting. I just can't name 12 guys. I could maybe 8 guys.
Bam Adebayo apparently has some interest.
Potentially. He might. Okay. Who was the starting lineup for this year?
It was Jalen Brunson.
Okay, so you're gone. Offense.
And
okay. Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges. What is he?
He's gone.
He's gone.
You had your chance. I'm sorry. Ant is the only one. Ant. Halliburton. I don't hate Halliburton. Bobby Portis, no. Walker Kessler, no. Cam Johnson, no. No, so like maybe Brandon Ingram.
Jaren Jackson Jr. started.
Jaren Jackson Jr. I've already said no.
Yeah, but Brandon Ingram was ass this year.
He was, but he also, But this is what I'm saying. So like, that's what I was saying. He was potential with Jaren Jackson. I think they're out. Ant's good. Halliburton's probably on the edge.
Yeah, but I'm asking, what I was asking, and I think we moved past it, but like, what I was asking was, who are the guys that if they commit, there isn't any like, well, we got to think about if we want you, or like we got to figure out the roster.
I would say the line is probably close to Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown.
Like the 6 or 7. The 7.
I would say
that was
7, 8, 9. That's who's potential.
There was 7 for sures.
Yeah.
If they want in, then they're on. Yeah.
I would even almost say, to be honest, if Jimmy Butler committed and said he wanted to play, he would be for sure. He's just a legend.
So that'd be 8.
So I would say after him, 9, 10, 11.
What about Anthony Davis? Is he a for sure?
Yeah, he was in the top 5.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take 4th place.
No.
I get you playing against countries that have professional players. I get that. You cannot take 4th place.
Well, I think the Olympics is a bigger deal.
100%. But I'm just saying this is also one of those things that obviously woke up a lot of the big name players that said this is not happening.
Yeah. This ain't it. This is not it.
Yeah. So,
we're not.
Long story short, there's going to be a revamp, and there needs to be.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I think Klay Thompson would have to try out.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Yep.
You think he'd be okay with that?
Well, if you don't want to play, then don't try out. You're not guaranteed.
Okay. So what are they having a full tryout for 2 spots?
Well, I think all these guys that played last year would try out.
They'd be on the second team.
They'd be on the tryout team. I mean, no offense, Walker Kessler, you're out. I mean, we can agree to that, right?
Are you inviting him to the tryout or no?
I would love to see Austin Reeves, though. I think Austin Reeves can play.
Not with that squad.
What?
No way.
You gotta have somebody like that on the team.
Like what?
White.
Not good?
What do you mean not good? He started for them.
Compared to I don't think he did.
I think
he did not.
In all seriousness, I think
start.
Austin Reeves is not. But I think here's the thing: you can have these guys try out, but you're trying out for 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah, but
and it's position based.
Right. So
like Jaren Jackson, I hate him, but I think he could potentially make the team just because he's a big guy.
He's a good defender. In theory,
apparently,
good at defensive stats.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
I would say he's very good at defensive stats. Is he a good defender? Maybe, maybe not. He fouls a ton. But.
Well, yeah, he's a guaranteed foul. That's not fine. That's not bad.
All right, let's move on because we could talk about this forever.
Well, we'll talk about it more once NBA comes out.
Okay, we're going college football first because I got one. We talked about it briefly before the show last week. It wasn't on the episode, but the North Carolina receiver. So he was he had to sit out their first game against South Carolina because of a 2-time transfer rule, right?
Yep.
And
which he didn't play that year though because it was COVID.
So kind of the general kind of lay of the land. So he grew up in North Carolina. He went to North Carolina A&T
or something like that.
No, North Carolina Central. I knew it was a smaller North Carolina school. So he started at North Carolina Central, That was the year of COVID, so they didn't have a season. Like, there was no games played. Their season was fully canceled. He transferred to Kent State, and then was there for 2 years. He put his name in the transfer portal because his grandma was his main caretaker, who was back in North Carolina. She wasn't doing well, and also mental health challenges is what they cited. He put his name in the transfer portal, transferred back to North Carolina. He's 2 days into class at North Carolina. The NCAA puts in a new rule where two-time transfers won't receive immediate eligibility. Keep in mind, he's already 2 days into starting classes at North Carolina before they put this new rule in, right? So he doesn't have immediate eligibility based off this new rule. They appeal, they put it in there, it gets denied, or they put in a request to have immediate eligibility because of this new rule. It gets denied, then they appeal, and then it gets scheduled out for the appeal to be heard by the board or whatever. And so the NCAA is kind of kicking the can down the road. They didn't hear it before the first game of the year, so we had to miss the game against South Carolina. Then they heard it before last week's game, towards the end of the week, and it got denied. So he literally is not eligible for this whole year. So they're trying to figure out what they can do, but it's so dumb because he transferred from a school that their season was canceled to another school, played 2 years, then he transferred home for a mental health / family health reason, and he did all of that before they put in this new rule, and they're still denying the original request and the appeal. That's so dumb.
Yeah, I don't really understand the thing about, but if you graduate.
I don't think he graduated.
No, he didn't, but I'm saying if you graduate, you can go wherever you want.
Correct, yeah. Because
so he's only a junior, yeah. But my question, I guess I don't understand it, but it's like, you didn't play because there was a COVID year. So how does that count as one transfer if you never played?
They're probably saying, and I don't know if that school played the next year. I would assume so.
Right.
So they're probably saying, no, you could have stayed at that school, played there, and you didn't have to transfer, so that's why that transfer counts. But at the same time, the whole year was canceled, so
yeah, that's
why he went to a different school.
I also just don't think it makes sense with everything going on now, and I understand you don't want people to transfer and stuff, but now everyone that transfers multiple times from the NCAA, obviously they need a waiver to play, but are they just going to deny everybody's and say, nope, that's not happening?
If it's a multi-time transfer, there's a few specific things where they would grant eligibility, but for the most part, two-time transfers won't have eligibility.
Do you know what one of any of the reasons? Because I feel like family and mental health is okay, that's probably a decent reason.
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
I know. Also, this is a fun fact.
That's just so dumb.
Well, fun fact for you: against Appalachian State, and when North Carolina played them, they actually named him an honorary captain.
Really?
Yeah. Big FU to the NCAA.
They're looking at options of what they can do, and apparently, don't support this, but I think it's kind of wild. Apparently, the NCAA received death threats.
Well, yeah, dude, people are crazy.
We don't support that.
No.
But it's wild that received threats in wake of eligibility denial.
Yeah, 100%. I think here's the problem. It's
but it happened before he I think here's the thing after he already enrolled at North Carolina.
Yeah, I think the problem with it is the timing of it. If it would have happened before he enrolled, okay, sure. If they would have come out and said, hey, you're not getting a waiver.
The rules are laid out.
Yeah, you're going to have to wait. Well, is it forever? He can never play, or does he have to sit out a year?
No, it just basically is what it used to be, where you have to sit out a year and then you're.
Got it.
And then
so he could redshirt
and play.
Or is this a year of eligibility? I guess that would be another question.
I don't know if he would be able to. I don't know if he already redshirted or he has the ability to redshirt.
Yeah. Okay.
If he has or hasn't done that in the past.
I will say that the death threats, I feel always come to
Well, I don't know if it's death threats, but it's just received
threats.
The NCAA received threats. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel it's hard to.
That's so stupid.
I feel it's hard to threaten the NCAA by death.
What also?
Because it's
I don't
a
think the
committee or
NCAA cares about
institution.
your fake Twitter profile that you're probably sending threats on.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But still don't do that.
Yeah, it's stupid. But it's just one of those things where it's like.
Okay, NFL. We were just rounding the
What
table
did you
left
have?
and right.
You want to talk about the?
Yeah, I'm talking hamstring injuries. What the heck are we doing here? Everybody in their on the right hand and the left hand, they got hamstring injuries galore. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up.
No, I think it's the right leg and the left leg.
The right leg and the left leg, they're all the hamstrings are all tearing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, injuries just in
hamstrings
general.
the week before the first week. We got hamstrings in training camp. We got hamstrings in the first week games. It's like, what do you expect? You're not doing anything for 3 months out of the year. Then you start trying to do stuff at training camp. Well, surprise, surprise, 2 weeks of activity isn't going to be enough for when you're playing a full NFL game. Sorry, your hamstring's probably not going to feel so hot. And when you're sprinting and you have the ball and you're trying to score, you're probably going to hurt your hamstring. So,
Or just getting hit.
y'all need to figure it out. But
Well, so here's a
this
question for you.
ain't it.
So on top of that, if you're an NFL coach, do you have your players play in the preseason?
yeah, at least a little bit.
Okay.
Because everybody always says,
What if the superstar doesn't want to? Like, what if Josh Allen says, "Nah, I'm not playing. Not
Sorry.
risking it." You're
Sorry,
saying
buddy.
you're playing?
yeah, you're playing in some regard. It doesn't
Like a
have to be
series
a
or
full
something?
quarter. It doesn't have to be a full half. You got to play at least in some regard in the preseason because everybody says it. All the analysts say it that used to play. Game action is game action. You can't simulate it.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to simulate it in practice, still not the same.
Yeah.
So play a series, play a couple series. You don't have to play a full quarter. You don't have to play a full half. You don't have to play a full game. But you got to play something in the game in the preseason because so many people are having hamstring injuries. And
But do you think those
what
are
do you
because
prefer? You play a couple series in the preseason game, or you sit out the first 4 weeks because you tear your hamstring?
Yeah.
I don't
But do you
know.
think
Your
that
choice.
hamstring injuries are more not like physical contact, they're more just like
They're trying to run too fast, and their body isn't used to
yeah,
getting up to that speed.
yeah.
I
just
mean,
think it's
how
something
often
different.
have you run a game speed, like when you were playing baseball? How often have you run from home to first as fast as you did in a game in practice? Be honest.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little different because most of the drills are literally base to base. But I'm not going to say
Okay,
like
first to
100%.
second, you hit a double down the line.
Yeah, to be honest though, I mean, this is D3 compared to professional, but like we still ran. Like you'd still run. You wouldn't
You
jog.
still ran as
Well, it's the
hard
same
as
thing.
you did in a game?
I think pretty close. Yeah. But it's different. It's different when you're practicing every day and like you're already in games. I think the difference with these hamstring injuries is like
I don't know.
I've already said it before, and we said it on this podcast when we first started talking about preseason. You have to play at some point.
We
You
said
almost
3
want your
quarters.
guys to get hit, and if an injury happens, I get it. But like, yeah, we're obviously trying to protect them. But these quarterbacks and these players in general, like, if you're anything, if you're a superstar or whatever, you wear a different jersey, you wear a different helmet. Nobody hits you,
Ever.
and if even anyone touches you, like when I think it was against the Titans when somebody touched Justin Jefferson, literally just touched him. The whole team like came over and like started to brawl. It's like you almost need these guys to get hit. I'm not cheering for. I don't want an injury. I don't think injuries ever should be part of the game. They're going to be part of the game, but it's just like one of these things. It's like on top of injuries, like it just doesn't make sense. Like, dude, the quarterbacks, like guys, you guys are just basically doing nothing all off season.
Nothing.
I've said it before.
Running their little routes.
It's just too bad because you don't want to see hamstrings, and those are the worst ones.
Yeah,
Hamstring, Achilles, Aaron Rodgers. Sorry.
I know.
It's tough to see. Also,
RIP.
on the Aaron Rodgers quick, do you think that all teams should get away from turf? I heard people were saying like, "Oh, the turf bug."
I don't think it's gonna make that big of a difference. To
You
be
don't
quite
think?
frank.
You don't think?
I don't know
natural
all
grass?
the health
Benefits?
benefits or negatives
Yeah.
from turf to grass, but I think that is a case of people trying to blame something
Yeah.
rather than, I mean, he's a 39-year-old quarterback.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a fluke thing. Like, it wasn't a crazy hit. He's really never been injured in the past.
Yeah.
I think it was just his body kind of like, after all of these years, it just kind of caught up with him. I
You
mean,
think he'll ever
39
play again?
years old is pretty old to play a
Football.
game that you're playing against 23-year-olds.
You think he'll ever play again?
No.
You think he's in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
Achilles injuries are extremely hard to come back from.
Yeah.
And it's going to take more than a year. And at this stage of his career, I mean, it's kind of just like, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting down to it already.
Right.
If he would have played the whole year.
I will say it's just too bad because it was like, this was like, oh wow, Aaron Rodgers, like,
Yeah,
new
it was
team,
it was
great,
now or never. But
still pulled out a dub.
But I don't think turf is going to change much.
Yeah.
Turf versus grass. Do you?
I don't know. I haven't really researched it enough. I was just interested because it's like a lot of these teams
There's
that are on natural turf, like, or the Lions were, and they completely revamped their whole thing to like now it's more of like a grass field turf or something.
There's probably a strong argument for grass,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's always going to be the case. The people that want grass, they're going to find the reasons that grass is way better, and the people that prefer turf, they're going to find the reasons that turf is better. So it's basically like a research project. You're going to find the reasons why yours is better, and then that's what you're going to include in the presentation or whatever.
Right.
That's literally what happens.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to do a research paper, let us know. That could be your 2 topics right there.
Yeah. And we'll help
If
you.
anyone's in grad school and needs topics, right there.
We'll
Why
help
is
you.
turf worse than grass, or why is grass worse than turf?
We'll help you find the reasons.
Yeah, we'll just give you a shout out. We probably won't. I'm not going to help you write anything. I'm done with that. But, yeah.
All right, we're moving on. That was quite the long round table, but we made it fully around. We're on to the seltzers.
Seltzer, so we're finishing
Part 2.
This first one is watermelon. Interesting kind of flavor for the Fulton hard seltzers. Watermelon, cool green can.
What were the
crispy.
flavors last time?
Oh, God. Cherry, black cherry.
Black cherry, yep.
And
I didn't write it down.
it'll come to me. What's that one?
This one's pineapple. Take a look at the can here for all those people that are looking at the YouTube. I don't know if you can tell which flavor it is because I can't. It's white font on yellow can. Terrible marketing. How are you supposed to understand what this is? It's a full yellow can with a yellow pineapple on it and then white font. I don't know about you guys, but I probably couldn't see it if I was in your shoes.
Well, we could wait. We could barely see it, and we're live.
We could barely see it at the end of the table, and that's literally 2 feet in front of us.
Yeah. If anybody cares, Nairn woke up today and is just choosing violence. I mean, this was off air, but that can was a huge discussion.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so if you're on the marketing team at Fulton, give us a call. We'll help you out a little bit.
I understand that all of the cans are color and white font, but like, you gotta be able to read it when you're walking into a liquor store and you're looking in the fridge.
Yeah. Also, it's strawberry kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi, that's what it was.
Because I kept saying kiwi strawberry.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
Classic mix up. A little bit of color, though. Kind of a
Piss color.
violence.
All right, which one are we doing first? The
Watermelon.
Oh,
It's a
God.
watermelon. Inside watermelon.
It like, on first smell, it like smells like watermelon, and then it has a weird smell. I can't really smell what that is.
This smells a little fresh, like a little more like watermelon. This doesn't really smell like
That
watermelon.
smells like freshness.
Yeah. Watermelon are fresh. Gotta be one of your favorite fruits.
Physical watermelon.
Yeah. Not drink watermelon.
Is towards the top of my fruit list.
Yeah.
I would say watermelon flavored drinks, probably honestly towards the bottom of my list of flavors.
Yeah, fun fact for you, Nairn actually used to, whenever people would have a gathering, Nairn would just cut open a watermelon, bring it over. You did that like 4 times. It's perfect.
Great.
Yeah. That was a compliment.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You know how to find a good watermelon? Can you give the people some help? What you do? Quickly, because we've been just dragging.
So apparently if it has a good spot on it.
Like on the watermelon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's so I usually just look for the one that looks the best.
You don't touch it, you just go.
I'm a very particular shopper, and honestly, like, I kind of, and this might be a ick for some people, but I'm very conscious of which ones I choose. So like avocados, I'll make sure I find the perfect one. Apples, watermelon, like all of the things that there might, like a package of bagels, I'll make sure, I'll grab probably like 5 to 10 of them and make sure that I have a pack of 6 that is like
good,
plump and not just like the outside circle with a big inner circle. I want like a little inner circle and pretty thick bagel because I want like the volume there.
Yeah.
So I'll grab like multiple of those.
So when you grab like apples, you said, or even avocados, I guess, not so much
bananas.
Bananas are cool too. But like apples, do you buy them just in a bag or do you put them individually? Like you buy? Okay. Because I was gonna say when I buy them in a bag, it's like I kind of look at the bag, feel them, and if the majority are good, I'm like, this. I mean, I don't inspect every apple. I mean, you can kind of just
an egg carton.
Well, you have to do an egg carton.
I pick up every single egg and make sure that it's not.
What the? You are a psycho guy.
So like, I mean, but I would say for the watermelon, usually I just grab it, make sure it looks nice, and then go.
So that's like the least fancy.
But my mom said that if it has a nice solid spot on it, then that means that it was sitting on there.
Is that
on
good
that
or bad?
spot, that's a good thing.
Good, okay.
Because then that's the juicy spot. So the bigger the spot, actually, the
bigger,
better it is. Yeah.
So back to our watermelon drink. That's a fun fact for you, but I just don't. This is a personal opinion, and I'm not a big watermelon guy, which I'm actually kind of thankful that a lot of seltzers don't do watermelon. But drinking this, it doesn't. The smell is fine, but like you said, the smell fades off right away. But it doesn't taste like anything, in my opinion.
I think it has a little flavor, and also I actually don't mind that it has flavor, and then it kind of just like
drifts off,
lingers and drifts.
Yeah,
which I actually am
fan of.
I'm kind of into. What's your score, David?
My score is a 5.5.
Really? Wow.
That was the flattest score I could think of without giving like a round score. I think, okay, here's the thing. I don't like watermelon drinks, but I do think it has a place for someone. If you like watermelon drinks, there is still a little hint of flavor there, yes. And like you said, it's not as strong as maybe the last week's were, but it definitely has like a easy to drink taste, goes down smooth. It's not awful.
No, yeah, I would say.
Because some watermelon, you're like, oh, that was carbonated, that was awful, that was just bad. This is not that.
No, yeah, I like it. I'm giving it a 7.1. It's got the right amount of flavor, not too much, pretty refreshing on a hot day. Like, I don't know, I feel like for the most part, a lot of seltzers, they're gonna be better in the summer versus the winter. Like warmer weather versus cooler weather.
I think seltzers were made for the summer.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So in the summer, like I would totally, like this is one that I would definitely drink.
There it is.
So there you go.
And now we're on to the worst can that's ever been created.
Yeah, seriously.
The, what'd you call it? Piss color?
This is piss color.
Healthy. Means you're healthy.
Maybe. Tiny bit.
There's like little things in there.
It honestly looks like white wine, to be quite frank.
Ooh. I'll say this. Pineapple, also a great fruit. Great summertime fruit. So you get a nice cut up pineapple, juicy. Shout out Hawaii, had the best pineapples. But this, decent. I actually think this one has more flavor than that one. But you have to like pineapple, because it has a lot of pineapple.
I don't know.
So you don't like pineapple?
No, I don't.
Drinks.
I would say...
I think this one's better than that one.
I think pineapple's in the same boat as watermelon is for me. I usually like the physical fruit versus something that's flavored with it. I do like the pineapple juice in the cans.
Have you ever added them like to a drink? Like a mojito? No, not a mojito. What is it? Moscow Mule? No, not a Moscow Mule. Isn't it a mojito? No, it's
vodka.
Yeah, you just add everything to vodka. There's like a specific drink though. You add pineapple juice to. It's got a lime in there. Oh man, Alyssa would be pissed at me because we used to get them all the time. I think it's a mule.
I don't know, but I think that there's some flavor. I don't know. It's like leaving my mouth dry, like a little cotton mouth.
Drier.
Yeah.
So it is like white wine.
White wine a lot of times is a little bit more juicy. So
when you get pineapple, do you get it already cut? I don't think I've ever cut a pineapple.
Really?
No. I'll pay the extra money if you have someone cut it. I just think it's weird to cut. I've never cut them. I guess I could.
Pineapples are actually fairly easy to cut.
You cut the top off and then pull it.
You cut the top off, you cut the bottom off, and then you can literally just like
Unravel it.
no.
Yeah, but how do you get rid of the? Oh, because you keep the little sides.
Yeah, you can literally just like chop it on squares, side, 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 and then you have for the most part the middle, and then you can literally just like chop it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it one day.
Or there's these plastic utensils that you literally cut off the top, and then you can twist it in, and it has little jagged edges, and it
Basically cuts it
gives
itself.
you the circle things like the canned pineapple in the circles. Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty snazzy. But anyways, back to this. I would say it leaves my mouth dry. Not like my favorite flavor. I think I would definitely take the watermelon over this.
Okay.
What's your score?
I'm giving it a 6.9. I think it's solid. I think it's pretty good. I actually like the flavor of it. I'm just getting a lot more flavor out of this one. I don't really necessarily get the dry mouth after it, so I don't really have that effect. But
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 5.2. It's fine. I mean, kind of just like I didn't particularly like the dryness, and also I'm just kind of like in the mindset of summer heat, want something refreshing, and I don't really want
quench the
my
palate.
mouth to be dry when I'm drinking something that's supposed to be refreshing.
got it. It's got to quench the palate.
Yeah, so
Okay.
5.2. Like I don't mind the flavor, but I would say the other ones were better. So
Yeah, that's very fair to say.
all right. So today's scores, we got 5.5 for Dave, 7.1 for me on the watermelon, 6.9 for Dave, 5.2 for me on the pineapple, which means overall
I think I'm in the upper sixes.
you're pretty high.
Yeah, I might be even at the 7.
So you got 7.0 on the black cherry, 7.3 on the strawberry kiwi, 5.5 on the watermelon, and 6.9 for the pineapple. So you got two scores in the sevens, 7.0,
close to
7.3, 6.9 for the pineapple, 5.5.
So I would say it's probably close to a 6.8, 6.9 for me total.
What's it?
I'm gonna say 6.8.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That is pretty high.
That's a fair and good
Let's see.
seltzer pack.
You had 7.3 for the first one that we did. What
Yeah,
was
the
that?
first one was
The
pretty good.
3 birds.
Yeah, 3 birds is pretty good.
Yeah, you had 7.3 for that seltzer pack. This one was a 6.8. I had 7.3 for the black cherry, 4.6 for the strawberry kiwi, 7.1 for the watermelon, and 5.2. So it was very much a 2-pack, a 2-flavor pack for me.
Yeah, it was a 2-headed
7.1 and 7.3, and then 5.2, 4.6. So we'll split the gap, and we'll give it a 6.1 for me.
Okay.
For a total score.
6.1's not terrible.
I think this. I mean, 7.1, 7.3, pretty strong scores. But then you also got 4, 6, and 5.2. Like,
Well, it's 4.6 strawberry kiwi. Must have been.
yeah, the bad ones are bad. The good ones are good. So keep that in mind.
Okay. Yeah,
That's what they call.
and that's what they call a review. Bang bang.
Yeah, let's go. All right, we got college football, week
Wow,
2.
Yeah. Big time, huh?
Big time in what regard?
Big time. Texas is good. I know, and I've gotten reamed by my good friend Sean Morris, who's a Texas fan.
For what?
Sent a few texts, sent a few Snapchats that are calling me out, saying, "Hey, when are you going to give Texas credit?" And I said, "Hey, if they beat Alabama, I'll give them some credit." So I give them some credit. They played well. I will say this: Alabama. I think Alabama will be okay. They need to find an actual quarterback, though. The guy's a running back. He's literally a running back.
It wasn't good.
He reminds me a lot in comparison in the NFL to Justin Fields. Like after watching the Justin Fields, like they don't even their first instinct is run, not hey I'm gonna go through 2 progressions. It's that guy's not covered or that guy's I can fit it in there. I'm running. And granted, he's a big dude. You just need to find a quarterback that can throw.
Yeah, he's fast too, but
He's huge. Yeah, he's big.
and I think you can do that against the mediocre teams.
Yeah, but once teams figure it out, their linemen are fast enough and their linebackers are fast enough.
They don't even have to figure it out. Like I think just there's a difference between the upper echelon of teams and like even from like 20 down,
You're fine.
it's like okay, you're just a far superior athlete. you can outrun them. And even if your first read is covered and you decide to run, like, you'll still get 6 to 8 yards.
Right, yeah, you're capable of doing it.
But if you're playing the upper echelon of like the top 10 teams, chances are they have good enough athletes on the back end to guard those, but then also make the play when they come up. Like, that was the biggest thing, I think, is they were guarding the guys in the back, but then when he started to run, it was either the linemen were able to make plays on that, or they were able to close the gap and not let them get a big gain on the run.
I mean, you look at statistic-wise, he was 14 of 27 passing. Okay, so basically 50%.
That's
2 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions. He had 15 rushes.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 15 rushes. He almost had basically almost 50% of their rushes. Like, I mean, I get it, but you're also like, I think that's the difference is, and college football is, yes, you need a quarterback that's athletic, but like at some point, like Quinn Ewers had 3 rushes, threw the ball 24 of 38. I mean, it's just different. It's like one of those things where it's like, you got to be able to almost kind of do both, and they played well, and obviously the turnovers were huge momentum swings, I guess you could say, and now Texas is in the top 5. So
yeah, they are.
There you go.
What else did you learn?
I'll say this: I think Florida State is legit. It'll be very interesting once they play Clemson. I think Clemson. I don't know how to say it nicely. I just don't know if Clemson's good. I don't know.
Why is that?
Because they barely, they just don't play. I mean, they whomped on this Charleston team, right?
They beat them. They scored 40.
What was the halftime score?
It was 24 to 17.
17. And they got an interception right before halftime. Charleston South was actually almost going to score. It could have been 24-24. Pause. I know they killed them. They're terrible.
Give them some credit.
They're terrible. Southern. I get that. You won 66-17. But you played terrible against Duke in the first game. Now you have a Florida State team who's legit. I just don't think they're the ACC powerhouse that they once were.
You want to know what I thought was crazy about this game? I was looking at the box score at the end because I was kind of keeping track of it in the first half.
Wait, you're talking about Clemson?
Yeah, Clemson, Charleston Southern. It was 14-14, and then it was 21-17, and then Clemson just started scoring every single thing.
In the second half.
Yeah. If you look at the box score, Charleston Southern total had 45 plays on offense. 45 total plays the whole game, right? Keep that in mind, 45. Clemson, pass attempts, they had 45. So they had as many pass attempts as Charleston Southern had total plays. Mm-hmm. They also had 42 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
They literally almost doubled the amount of plays that Charleston Southern had. And it was a 4-point game deep into the second quarter. And then they literally just scored so many points in the second half.
Right.
But if you have double the amount of plays, obviously you're going to dominate the game.
Yeah, and I think it probably was, to be honest, knowing the coaching staff and knowing all that, it probably got to a point at halftime where Dabo was literally like, all right, guys, this is embarrassing. Come on and play. You guys are all playing the whole game, or you're playing most of the game, pick it up. Because, I mean, they had 20-some points in the third quarter. But I think it's very interesting. They play FAU this week. Should be an easy win at home. Then you play Florida State. Okay? Mm-hmm. Florida State's going to be a very, very, very good game. You also this year have to go to Miami, who has pretty much showed out, has made themselves in the top 25, has looked very good. Then you have to play Notre Dame, and you have to play North Carolina. Mm-hmm. That is not easy to me. I could easily see them losing 2 out of those 4 games.
Probably.
So
I think that's definitely possible.
I just don't know if they're the powerhouse. So that's what I saw after this week. I think it's very interesting too. Another part, Colorado is very fun to watch.
Yeah.
The hype I think is actually kind of real. I mean, I still think they're gonna have to at some point play. They're gonna play Oregon at some point, and here we go. They're gonna play decent teams. I mean, they played TCU, who, don't get me wrong, was okay, but I don't think TCU is very good. Nebraska, no offense, ass. Then you play. I mean,
you just can't score.
Right, their
offense is bad,
which is so crazy because their coach is an offensive coach.
It ain't working.
But I don't know. I think they're fun to watch. I think once they start getting into the thick of things, then we'll start to see.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. They play Colorado State this week. That's a win. So they're at 3 wins in 3 weeks, right?
It's a story.
Their over-under was what, 4.5?
Was it 4.5 or 5.5? I think it was 4.5.
I thought it was.
It's pretty low.
It at least started at 4.5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're at 3 wins in the first 3 weeks, we'll just say.
Okay.
Right? And we could even talk about this next week, but we'll just do it now for shits and giggles. So they're at 3 wins. They play at Oregon the next week. Probably a loss.
That's gonna be tough, yeah.
That's probably a loss. Then they play home against USC.
I think. Hey, pause. I'll say this. I think that game against USC, and we can kind of track it once the week comes. I think that game's over/under for points should be 70 points, and they'll go over that. Neither team plays defense, and both offenses are high scoring. It could even be in the mid-70s.
Well, that's what all the Pac-12 games this year are probably going to be because USC scores a ton of points. Oregon scores a ton of points. Washington scores a ton of points.
Washington State scores a ton of points.
Washington State scores a ton of points. UCLA's now in the top 25. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Oregon State can score. Like, literally all of these teams, their offenses are so good that the over-under should truly be about around 65, 70 points every single game. And they'll still probably go over.
Yeah. I think college football definitely scores a lot more.
But that's what I want to see.
Well,
that's
we all
why
wanna see it.
That's why I don't mind watching college football late at night on a Saturday because I know the Pac-12 is going to put up points. I don't really like 11 a.m. games in the Big Ten where it's 10 to 13. That's boring.
You don't like Gopher football?
Throw the ball.
Well, what if you can't? Okay.
It's not fun to watch.
Yeah, it's not fun to watch, but
it's boring.
That is big. Well, now we'll see the difference. So, so here's the question, obviously foreshadowing. Next year when some teams come over to the Big Ten.
Yeah, they're going to dominate because they can score.
You think they're going to be at the top? I just don't know about UCLA. I think UCLA will be average.
Yeah, I mean, UCLA doesn't get the recruits that USC does. But I think USC will.
Yeah, but once Caleb Williams gone, do you think?
They'll probably just get another quarterback.
I guess we'll see.
Maybe not to the level of
Here you go. Oregon, Hawaii is at 68.5.
Yeah, see?
And Hawaii stinks.
That's because Oregon's going to score 50.
I think Oregon might score 60.
What's
38.5.
Yeah.
So if Hawaii scores two touchdowns, and they have 14 points.
They're probably slated for around 50. So it'd be 50
to 18, 50 to 14. That's 64.
50 to yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be very interesting. I think when you start looking at these teams that are now in the top
literally ranked, not ranked,
Yeah.
not ranked, ranked, not ranked, ranked. Even Washington State's ranked now.
Well, yeah, because they beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Decent win, though. I mean,
no, that's a good win. But I mean, Wisconsin. We all knew Wisconsin was overrated. They're supposed to have a really good offense, and they can't score.
Yeah, I mean, it's Big Ten football.
Yeah, exactly. That ain't working.
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting. I think this still has a week of, I think the big interesting game this week, just in general.
From last week?
No, from this I'm talking this week now. Week 3.
Oh, let me say two games that were interesting from last week.
Yeah.
Utah, Baylor.
Well, that's because Utah still doesn't have their starting quarterback.
No, they did.
He played?
Yeah.
I didn't think he played. Rising? He didn't play.
Oh, no, he didn't play.
No, he's still out. That's why.
But
they were losing the whole game.
They scored 2 touchdowns in the last 2 minutes to win the game.
Yeah, they were losing.
So I thought that one was a surprise, and I also thought Oregon was a surprise. I thought they were going to kind of dominate Texas Tech, and I knew it was going to be high scoring. It hit the over. Not saying I said so, but just saying.
Not saying I said so, but just.
And I also did call out Washington State beating Wisconsin because I said they were going to score a bunch of points. They put up numbers, and Wisconsin can't keep up.
Yeah. Also, I will say this: another great game. I did watch a little bit of.
Just saying.
Before we move to this week, Miami legitimately looked very, very good against Texas A&M. Miami's defense played well. They gave up. They just scored, and they're back. So I don't know. I think you kind of look at it, and then foreshadowing to week 3.
Yep.
There's really
what games you got?
A ton of games I'm interested in. I am interested in particularly one. I think the Gophers can cover.
Yeah, apparently there's 4 games of ranked opponents that the spread is below 10, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Well, I just think it's very interesting. I think the Gophers' defense has always been solid, and like we like to run the ball. And I don't know if Drake May has really performed as well as he's like to.
I don't
start
think
the year.
so.
Yeah, so I think he's kind of struggled a little bit. So I don't think it's a bad time. It's early on in the year to pull one out. The other game though is the big one, like Tennessee versus Florida. Tennessee kind of
At Florida.
At Florida. Tennessee almost kind of laid an egg last game. Nice catch, Whitey. Almost laid an egg against who are they playing? That is Whitey. See that? Great catch. Austin PA. They literally had like 3 points in the first half. And then all of a sudden, it was like, okay, now we have to play. I mean, the game was literally 13-6 at halftime. Joe Milton, not great. Not my best pick ever, but...
No, it was not.
Holy shit, look at that TV time. So yeah, I think that would be very interesting. Going to Florida is always tough. I don't think Florida is really as good as they once were. But going into Florida to play in the swamp is a very, very, very tough place to play.
Yes, it is. Very humid place to play.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, not that many games that are like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to watch this.
I really
this week.
I mean, Kansas State is only 5-point favorites at Missouri. I didn't think Missouri was that great, but that's an interesting line.
No, I think Missouri was decent. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's see here. Let me just scope these really quick. Yeah. I don't know. Nondescript college football week for me.
Yeah, I think here's the thing, and I know we'll talk about this next week still, but if you look at week 4 is when shit picks up. Okay, UCLA at Utah, Oregon State at Washington State. You have Florida State at Clemson, Ole Miss at Alabama, Colorado at Oregon. You have, who was the other game that was? Ohio State at Notre Dame, Iowa at Penn State. I mean, it's all of a sudden like week 4 hits, and it's like...
Did you say Colorado?
Who's
Are
Colorado?
they in there?
Yeah, they play at Oregon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's crazy. It's like all of a sudden week 4 comes and it's like, all right, now we're playing good games.
Yeah.
So
enjoy this week because next week going to be a little tougher.
Yeah, do something. Don't feel like you have to sit on the couch all week this week. There probably won't be very many.
Go golfing.
And go golfing. Hang out with your +1 if you want. Spend some time because...
Next week... The calendar's booked.
Yeah, unfortunately, honey, the calendar's booked.
Saturday, Sunday. Sorry.
Yep, so bang, bang.
Okay, NFL.
Oh. Let's talk money.
You want to talk what?
This is what we're talking about, the NFL. It's money.
Yeah.
It's money time. There was a lot of... I'll say this.
Disappointment.
I will say this. The first week of NFL, it was kind of disappointing.
Very disappointing.
That was probably that was a good word to use, disappointing. Obviously, not even just because the Vikings laid an egg, but it almost started Thursday night. The NFL is back, but it's like these teams are easing into the season.
It was disappointment because the Vikings sucked. And
a lot of teams sucked.
The offenses were not there.
Fun fact for you, I finally got Red Zone. Fun to watch, cool to watch.
Nice.
But it gave me a fun statistic. So the noon games, I think there was 8 different games, so 16 teams.
Okay.
At halftime, so most of the games finish around the same time at halftime. So I think there's one game that's still like a minute left, but most of the games are at halftime. There was a total for all the teams combined of 13 touchdowns out of 16 teams. The guy, I forgot this, I can't think of his name, the red zone guy. Scott Hansen. Literally said that the average game last year at the end of the game averaged 5 total touchdowns a game.
So that's 2.5 per team.
So that's 8. That's 16 times 5. 16 or 8 times 5. 8 games times 5 for 40.
Yep.
At halftime, they had 13 total.
Yeah.
Some would say way below pace.
That's bad.
And I mean, I didn't stick around. I didn't hear him say anything at the end. But this was the whole.
No, it was the lowest. It was at like 50. It was at like 54 or 56 for the day.
Yeah.
For Sunday during the day, and last year was at like 70 something or 80 something, and
No.
well, last year was 70 something, 80 something, and then the year before was the other one, so 70 something, 80 something. So literally 20 less touchdowns in a day.
Yeah, and I think it was partially because, like we talked about at the beginning, like these teams, their starters like hadn't really played, so I don't know if they were easing people into it. Some games were easing their rookies into it, some games weren't.
Yeah.
Weather wasn't great on the East Coast, whatever you want to say. But at the same time, like that game mattered. That game counted, and teams were playing like,
yeah,
that game didn't matter. It's like I get you want to rest your starters. I get like Bengals. You're down 24-3. There's 9 minutes left. You say, all right, Joe, you're benched. He's got to play with starters at some point. You got to keep playing.
Yeah, but he's coming back from an actual injury.
I don't care. Do something, especially for us fantasy owners that we picked you. Do something for us, Joe. And then also on top of it, the Vikings just, I don't get it. I never get it.
Not good. Not good showing.
And it's not going to be a good showing this week, too. Hopefully.
Yeah, I would say my top 2 disappointments were 1, the Vikings, terrible. And 2, in both my fantasy leagues, I was playing against the Cowboys defense. So that sucked, too.
Which is a wild
time. Okay, so for NFL, I put these together. I have 5 storylines. We're going to do this or that. Dave doesn't know what these are. So essentially, it's 2 things that were in the same game, and we're going to, I'm going to ask you which one is more of a thing. Like, for
which
instance,
one's more impactful?
Yeah, like what did we learn more from? So,
are you going to answer these 2 or just me?
No, we can circle back to me too. Yeah, but I want to hear yours first.
Got it. I don't know these.
So the first example, which is actually the first one, is okay. So the Packers dominated the Bears. So did we learn that the Packers are actually better than we thought? Jordan Love is better than we thought, or are the Bears just worse and Justin Fields cannot lead that team? Like, is that the thing that we learned, or did we learn that the Packers are better and Jordan Love is better?
So I'll say I would go with the Bears are worse. Mm-hmm. I think the Packers are fine and their defense is still solid. That's always been the main point. Jordan Love, I think, did impress people. Obviously, a great start to play the Bears.
Yep.
But I still think it's the same thing. Justin Fields is still not an NFL caliber quarterback that can throw a football. Yep. He's a great runner. He's great, whatever. You guys gave up the first pick to Carolina for a DJ Moore, and you threw the ball to DJ Moore 3 times the whole game.
Yeah, not good.
You just gave up a first-round pick, or first overall pick for a guy, and you threw him 3 times. Also, Chase Claypool, done. You need to be done playing football. You didn't show any effort. You looked terrible. I actually watched a little bit of this game because I have DJ Moore, shout out, sucks, 2 years in a row. But,
and also, let me just throw this in there.
Traded Brandon on you.
No. Like a week and a half ago, after fantasy draft before the year, Dave, word for word, he said, I think I might just be a DJ Moore guy. He was on my team last year. He's on my team this year. I just might be a DJ Moore guy. He just might be my guy.
If anybody knows
not
me,
good.
If anybody knows me, I make dumb comments a lot, and that was probably one.
Word for word, that's what he said.
I will say this: DJ Moore, this is the last thing I'll say on this. DJ Moore is very talented. He's a great receiver, but if you don't have a quarterback that can throw a football, then we have issues. I remember last year, and it was the same story. I think we were talking over-unders for passing yards in the game, and Justin Fields was 180.
It was. I think it might have been lower.
Lower. Yeah. So he had 216, so he broke that. But also, they looked so bad.
Yeah.
And so I think, going back to your question, I think it's the Bears are worse. I think the Bears will be the bottom of our division easily.
And let's just
Packers defense will carry them.
Let's just preface this by saying there's probably an element of truth to both sides. The Bears are probably maybe a little bit worse.
Yeah.
And the Packers are probably a little bit better. But the questions are coming from which one is more of
Yeah. Both, like you said, you can make an argument for both. I do think if you actually rewind the tape, we had the Bears losing our division and probably going under their win total.
Yeah.
So
maybe. We can look.
Yeah.
All right, second one.
Is that what are you going? Or is that what you agree?
No, I think the Bears are worse.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good quarterback, then you're kind of just screwed in general. Quarterback is obviously the main position that you need.
I'll say last thing about Jordan Love. He played well. He completed 15 of 27 passes. Not terrible for your first game.
The
You were
Bears
playing a
made
terrible
him
game.
look good.
But you also had a few plays. I remember one for sure, Aaron Jones, when he pulled up with his hamstring. That was a 60-yard touchdown catch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't
on
look bad.
literally the best play ever in Madden, which is an RB angle. You run out, and then you run
Man
in,
coverage,
and it's
that's
wide open in the middle, and you just zip down to the end zone.
Yeah.
If you watch that play, it's literally the exact same play that's wide open every single time in Madden. So, shout out to RB angle.
So, I do think it was a good game for them. I think, obviously, moving forward, like, they get to play the Bears twice. I think that now potentially could be 2 wins, but I do think it was a great game for him to get his feet wet.
Yep,
but you only completed 15 passes. I mean,
All right.
we'll see what happens.
Next one. So, Seahawks kind of got dominated by the Rams. Everybody was kind of thinking that the Rams were not going to be very good this year, but they kind of dominated on Sunday. So, are the Rams better, and is their offense better, even though they don't have Cooper Kupp right now? Is their offense better? Or are the Seahawks way worse than we thought they were, and is their offense actually not that good?
So I'll say this in my surprise. I actually think the Rams offense with a healthy Matthew Stafford actually is better than people think.
Okay.
I think here's the thing. Cooper Kupp goes down, okay, everyone's kind of sitting here and is like, oh God, their season's done. Mm-hmm. You had multiple people at multiple positions that kind of stepped up. I mean, you had this, what's his name? Puka Nacua basically took the place of him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's worth that much once Cooper Kupp comes back, because I think all those routes he ran were Cooper Kupp's runs. Mm-hmm. Matthew Stafford is a very good quarterback. Mm-hmm. You also have a backup, Kyron Williams, who basically took the spot of Cam Akers. They have two of those guys. Their defense is okay. It's not great. I will say this, the Rams offense, I think with a healthy Matthew Stafford is decent. It's pretty good. So I will say that's more over than the
Rams.
Than the Rams, than the Seahawks, yeah. I think the Seahawks will kind of figure it out. I think they just didn't look great.
I think the Rams are better than we thought, but I'll go the opposite side. I think the Seahawks are maybe a little bit worse than we were expecting.
Yeah.
I think they're very middle of the pack, and also I think everybody was expecting really big things from Geno Smith this year, because he played really well last year, and that was mainly because his completion percentage was so high. But I mean, he's literally a career backup quarterback.
Yeah,
up until last year.
I mean, good for him. He played himself into like a contract, or played himself into starter. But yeah, you look at his stats. He had 112 total passing yards.
They couldn't do anything in the second half. So I think that the Seahawks might be worse than we thought they were going to be. They also have a ton of young guys on defense, so they're probably going to be a little bit slower to get going in the first half of the season. Yeah,
I think they have good weapons too offensively.
Yep.
And so I think he should figure it out.
Yeah, he'll figure it out.
But that division is the.
But they're very mediocre.
Yeah.
I would say probably around 500.
Yeah, they already won the division.
All right, number 3. So if you saw Sunday night, bad for the Giants, good for the Cowboys. So specifically, is the Cowboys defense really that good, or is the Giants offense really that bad? Not full teams, just Cowboys defense really that good, and they were very good on Sunday, or is the Giants offense just really not very good?
I think to be honest, I do think the Cowboys defense is very, very good. They got a lot. I mean, you can guarantee a Micah Parsons sack every game. Mm-hmm. They also have other good guys up front. I think it was kind of a testament to once that game started, and once they got the block kick touchdown, once they got, I think they had a fumble recovery or a pick six, something. They had 2 defensive touchdowns.
It was a block kick, blocked field goal, and then they had a interception. Pick six.
So here's the thing. They also have Stephon Gilmore in the back now. They have Trayvon Diggs. I don't necessarily think Trayvon Diggs, he takes a lot of chances. He's okay. Their defense will produce because they get to the quarterback so fast. They're kind of similar to the 49ers. With that being said, I think the Giants' offense is ass. Your one target is Darren Waller or Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. No offense, Sterling Shepard, I think, is still on the team. He's old.
I think it's Isaiah Hodgins. Might be their best receiver.
Hyatt doesn't look fantastic. Maybe down the road he will. They had
he can't catch either.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different pass targets. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I will say this for his defense. Daniel Jones has always been He's always been okay. He can run a lot. Mm-hmm. That defense, though, just showed like, hey, when they started pressuring him, every play, it didn't matter, starters, backup, they were having so much fun just blitzing him. They knew they could blitz him every play.
100%.
Granted, sure, the weather, you can blame that if you want. They literally almost blitzed him. If not blitzed him, they got to him every single play. They had 7 sacks.
Yeah, it was every sack.
I mean, listen to this. Dak Prescott was 13 of 24 for 143 yards. They still scored 40 points. He didn't have 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, that blows my mind. I mean, their defense, like they said, is legit. I think their defense is top notch. I think their defense is very good. I don't know.
Yeah, the Giants' offense is also quite bad.
They don't have any weapons besides Darren Waller
and Saquon.
And even Saquon's hard because when you play a team like the Cowboys who have great linebackers, they can just cover them.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. All right, next one we got Monday night game.
Oof, gross.
Is the Jets' defense really that good, or is the Bills' offense not very good?
I'll say this. I think the Bills' offense that game played bad. So I think here's the thing is I think the Bills' offense played bad. I think the offense will be fine, and they're going to be better. Josh Allen needs to figure it out. I think he even came out and said that like, hey, I lost us that game.
Yep.
So you tried to thread the needle. He did. You try to thread the needle. You try to do all this fancy stuff. And against a good defense. They are a good defense. But let's not forget, you had a guy, Sauce Gardner, who was, I think, up for Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player. I don't know which one. Rookie Defensive Player of the Year or something.
He was definitely Rookie Defensive Player.
So he was up for that. Stephon Diggs cooked. I mean, Stephon Diggs had an unreal game, which they will. I think their defense is legit, but I think when you look at the Bills' offense, it was just a weird game where it was like, Josh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, his deep ball wasn't great. I mean, this is what I'll say, too, just about the NFL in general, with the games I watched. It didn't seem like any team, maybe it was just a defensive battle, but it didn't seem like any team or any quarterback had time to throw a deep ball.
Yeah.
Like, they had no time. Like, they were always scrambling. The only time, I mean, you look at the one play that Josh Allen threw a touchdown to Diggs, he was almost across the line, and he flipped it to him. Yeah. Like, his deep balls, it wasn't like he was running around and then would just huck it.
Deep balls are not good.
So I think that'll get figured out. I think the Bills' offense will be fine. I think it's still the same question every year with Josh Allen. It's like, can he limit his errors? And he knows it.
Yeah.
But it was like even we talked off air. The one time he bobbled a snap and he tries to make something out of nothing instead of just going down on it. Yes, sure, that might work 9 out of 10 times. But dude, you just were out. That was first down. Just take your loss.
Exactly.
And then overtime.
Yeah.
You try to thread a needle once, and then I just love watching some of these quarterbacks because you can always tell because the camera is always delayed to the receiver. You can always tell when the throw is going to be a little bit off because they just look like they try to throw it so freaking hard.
It's like, oh crap, I got really rifled.
It's like with Kirk Cousins, you watch him and he just looks like he throws as hard. It's like that's going to be a contested pass or a picked off. You just know it. Yeah. So I think the Jets' defense is fine. They'll have to carry them without Aaron Rodgers now and Zach Wilson at the quarterback. But I do think the Bills' offense just played bad. I think the Bills' offense will be fine.
Okay. Last one is there were 2 main weather games. Right, we'll say the Patriots and the Eagles.
Yeah.
And the Browns-Bengals.
The Browns-Bengals was great.
So, was it really the weather that made potentially the superior team? The game essentially was closer because of the weather, or can we actually learn something from those games of, are the Patriots better than we thought? Are the Eagles maybe not as good? Are the Browns better? Are the Bengals not as good? Like, was it the weather that kept it close, or were the potentially inferior teams? Yeah. Did they play better, or are they better than we thought they were?
Yeah, I'll say both the Bengals and the Eagles will still be perfectly fine. So I do think the weather played some impact on it, but I also think, and it's kind of been like the topic of the show, like Joe Burrow not playing and coming back from an injury definitely hurt. The timing was off, everything. I'll say this, though. The Browns' defense showed up. Yeah, and I will say this. The Bengals, I mean, I didn't know this stat. Obviously, played Joe Burrow from the fantasy team. The Bengals are like 1-5, if not 0-5 in first games of the year. And then they always just turn it on and they're fine. And granted, they're always bad against the Browns. I think the difference is when you look at the Eagles, and that was a very interesting game because, yes, the weather was bad, but they went up 16-rip like this. Yeah. And the game was like, oh, God, here we go. This game's going to get out of hand. And then all of a sudden they just stopped.
It was so close.
Yeah, and it was like mental errors. It was like, I think the weather played into a few where it was like, okay, Jalen Hurts fumble. But then I didn't really see a lot of the Bengals game because I just didn't want to watch it because I was pissed. But like the Browns defense played very well, but I do think the weather played a huge part of it. But it's just the same thing. They don't play during the off season or the preseason. You're coming back from a major injury that you actually almost thought you weren't going to play the first week. You just got a big contract, and a lot of people know this. The week after you get a big contract, you always shit the bed. Baseball, basketball, it doesn't matter. NFL, you will always play terrible. You look great, but you always play bad against the Browns too. I think the weather did play a huge factor, and I think they'll be fine moving forward. So I'll go with weather on this one.
Okay.
Just trying to give myself a little hope for my quarterback too, because here's the thing: you can't. Joe Burrow will still be Joe Burrow. You have too many weapons. T. Higgins had 8 targets, 0 catches.
Yeah, but some of those targets were not really targets.
But I think the weather was bad.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Not good at all.
14 of 31.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't like that.
I didn't even want
Just
I don't know why I
close
looked out of that, yeah.
Bad news.
But so, I think at the same time, I think it's Jamar Chase, 9 targets. T. Higgins, 8. We'll say the weather affected that game. It'll be
we'll
just
say the
interesting.
weather.
I did come on here. We did talk off air. I did say, I think literally there was like 3 or 4 big games that the weather was awful.
Yeah, it was.
So.
Yep. All right, let's run through the, what order did we do these in last time?
Dogs.
The dog of the week.
Woof woof. That was decent. That was better. I'm getting better.
Yeah, you are.
I'm getting better. Shout out also, I'm going to give a little shout out. I know we weren't going to talk about golf when we beat Brennan and Lesh, but Brennan did on the course. We said dogs of the week, and Brennan goes, woof woof. Brennan did a good one. So we might need his voiceover just so we can
bring it in.
Yeah.
All right. We'll keep that in mind. Who's your dog of the week?
So last week I did pick the Dolphins, which was a very, very
Dave's
interesting.
hit, mine did not.
Yeah, which was a fun game to watch. I think we knew it was going to be a shootout of just whoever had
Great
the ball. This week, I'm taking the Falcons over the Packers.
Okay.
Wow. Falcons at home. I just think they will play better. They always do play better at home. I guess we'll wait and see the hype around Jordan Love. Mm-hmm. We'll wait and see. I really, to be honest, I don't really have a ton of data on it. I just kind of hope.
Well, they're a home team. They could control the game with the run.
Yeah, it's a close spread, so it's going to be a close game, and I think it's for real. Let's see what we can do.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Jaguars over the Chiefs. Jaguars are at home. I think this is a game that the Jaguars are going to use as a measuring stick of, all right, we lost to the Chiefs. What was that, last year in the playoffs?
I believe it was last year, yeah. Because they beat the Chargers and then they beat the Chiefs.
So they lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs last year. The Chiefs have been kind of the measuring stick since Mahomes has been there. And I think the Jaguars want to make some strides forward this year. And so they won the first week. The Chiefs lost the first week. So they're going to be coming in really trying to get the win. However, I think the Jaguars at home are going to be able to win the game. I think they're up for the challenge. I think their offense is really good, especially with Calvin Ridley. Literally dominant, just like the olden days. So the offense will be able to score, and then I think their defense will be able to do enough. And honestly, if Travis Kelce plays, you got to guard him. If he doesn't, then literally, I don't even know who you got to guard.
Yeah. And I know we're doing this before the game. So here's a question for you about that game. Travis Kelce gets ruled out.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it goes to even, or do you think it stays at -3?
No, I think it would move closer to even, but I still think the Chiefs might be -1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
we're doing this before, so it doesn't matter. I mean, it's just as
he wouldn't be ruled out. Honestly, I don't think until Sunday.
Again.
But I don't think that Travis Kelce himself is worth 3 whole points.
That's a lot,
right? If it was Mahomes, probably worth 3 points. I don't even know how that works exactly for how much each specific player is worth.
Right.
Obviously quarterbacks are probably worth more than other players.
Right.
But Mahomes has got to be probably the top person in terms of how many points they're worth. And so
I agree
if he went down or if he wasn't going to play, then I don't really know what the spread would be. You would have to think that the Jaguars would be favored then.
If Mahomes went down?
Yeah.
100%. So, I think you have that for a lot of quarterbacks.
He's potentially worth more than 3 points.
Yeah, I think you have that for a lot. I think you look at the same thing. It was like last week. So it probably started out Chiefs-Lions. It was probably close to 6. 6.5, and then once Travis Kelce got out, it was probably 3.5, 4. So it might be 2 or 3 points, but I think week 2, I think the Chiefs they have to figure it out.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I think the Jags are fun to watch.
That's why it's the dog of the week, because I think they can do it.
Woof.
There we go. Okay, eliminator pick.
Okay.
Mine hit. We got quite a crew that's in. 3 of you are out.
Crew that's out.
Yeah, 3 of you that are out. Well, 4 is it 4 including you?
It's 3 including me.
Oh, 3 including David. And so we've got a pretty good crew that's in. So if you're still in, if your team won, then make sure that you send us your picks.
Remember, caveat: can't pick the same team.
Can't pick the same team.
Not sure a lot of you guys.
The whole year.
Not sure a lot of you guys would want to pick the Commanders. That 8 of you guys picked. Great pick.
That was a great pick.
It's actually crazy because
Locked in.
besides one person, Primer, who had the Jaguars, who also won it last year, it was 49ers, Ravens, Commanders.
Yeah.
And we have 15 people.
And Cowboys.
Oh yeah, and one shot for Lydia.
Yep.
Cowboys, great pick.
There we go.
Classic dub. So now you guys are back. Just make sure you get your picks in
Before the Sunday games.
before the Sunday game.
Unless
Unless you
you-
want to do Thursday. Make your week great.
It's possible. All right, so my pick for the week is going to be the Giants. Similar strategy. Obviously, it can't get worse than how they played last week. And I think that the Cardinals are just as bad as we thought they were. The Commanders were trying to figure some things out, new quarterback. And so I think the Giants will figure it out, and they're going to beat the Cardinals. So that's my pick.
There it is. Also, so this is a quick question. When you say similar strategy, you mean exact same strategy.
Similar
Just picking whoever plays
strategy
the Cardinals
as
last
in who's playing the Cardinals.
Okay.
I'm not going to use it every week.
No, but you are for one. Yeah.
But I'm 1-0.
I just when you said
And we're
similar,
gonna-
I was thinking like, oh, maybe a little difference, but it's the exact same strategy.
Similar strategy as in the exact same
Exact same thing.
strategy
There you
that I did last week.
So if you guys want to follow them, which a lot of you guys did from last week, 6 others,
Feel free.
ride with your boy.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Keep
so I'm
on the
done.
train.
Yeah, see ya.
But if you were going to, who'd you pick?
If I was going to,
Yeah.
I'd pick the Bills.
Really?
Yeah.
Over
Use
there?
them early.
Okay.
Get them out of the way.
All right. They can't go 0-2.
Well, they can.
No, they
It would
can't.
be really bad.
That would be really bad.
Yeah.
All right. Smash don't pass. What were we? 5-1.
Yeah, I was 2-1. Nairn was 3-0. What's crazy is like think about it. Like a lot of our guys were like within a point
Yeah.
or 0.1 points.
But they were over.
But no, but yours were.
They
But I'm
were
saying
over.
like even my Sam Howell was like within a point. It's
That's
crazy
right.
how close those projections are.
Yep.
Uh,
But even in a week that the fantasy scoring was down, we still had 5 out of 6 that hit
Yeah.
over their projection, which is honestly
crazy.
pretty good.
yeah, because a lot of people didn't
Just
hit their
saying.
projection. Yeah. So
All right, quarterback.
this week I'm starting with Geno Smith playing the Lions. He's projected 17.6. I think the Lions are solid, but the Lions at home like to score. I think they will. This game might be a little high scoring. I think he needs to figure it out with Tyler Lockett and DK. So I think he needs to get back on track.
I hope Tyler Lockett plays.
Is he hurt?
He got a concussion, he was in the concussion protocol. He did come back and play at the end of the game.
So it's fine.
So I think he should be okay,
Yeah.
but you never know.
So
All right, quarterback, I'm going with Mac Jones. The Patriots play the Dolphins, which if the Patriots have any chance of winning the game,
Sunday night.
Sunday night at home
Wow.
for Mac Jones. So I think if they have any chance of winning, the Dolphins, I don't think there's probably going to be any game, maybe probably 1 or 2 maximum the whole year that they'll score under 3 touchdowns. 1
Yeah.
or 2 maximum.
I think I will say this.
As long as the health stays there,
yeah.
1 or 2 maximum that they don't score 3 touchdowns, which means that the Patriots have to score, right? They
Yeah.
have to score at least 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And Mac Jones literally just had 24 points. His line is 14.2 at home against Miami, which Justin Herbert just threw it up all over him.
Yeah, a little different quarterback, Justin Herbert. But yeah, I agree with you. I think here's the
Just
thing.
saying.
The difference with the Dolphins is obviously health, but I think this game might be a little bit slower because you're going to a place that's... the Patriots are good at home, and it's going to be tough to play. It says 68 degrees, but it'll be a little chillier.
68
But I
degrees
do
and sunny.
I
As
do
long
think-
as we got fair conditions, not
Yeah.
rain, Should be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be an interesting game, so we'll wait and see.
All right, running back. What you got?
James Conner, 15 points. Plays against the Giants this week.
Yeah.
We just gave up quite a bit of points to Tony Pollard. Also, he is legitimately the only player on the Cardinals worth a damn. Sorry for swearing, but he is the only player.
He's the only guy worth it.
If he does not touch the ball or he does not get 15 points, they probably lose the game, which you hope for.
They're going to lose.
You hope for.
Sure. But he had 12 last week and he didn't score.
Exactly.
At some point, he's got to score a touchdown. They're going to score touchdowns.
And you got a week to work with Dobbs. You got a few drop-offs. You got a few dinks.
He had, I think he had, it was either 5 or 6 catches. He had like 5 catches for like 6 yards.
Really?
Yeah, what was that? Look that up.
Yeah, he had 5 catches for 8 yards.
5 catches for 8 yards. Are you kidding me?
That's really bad.
That's wild. But that's 5.8 points, baby.
Yeah.
That's how you
He had 62 rushing yards, which is actually pretty good.
That's how you draw it up.
I will say, yeah, I do think it is crazy. Every time I saw this game last week with the Cardinals and the Commanders, every single time I watched it, it was like 2nd and 13, 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
Like, it was like they just, and every time they'd be like, James Conner rush for -2 yards. James Conner rush for 2 yards.
James Conner
It's the most
catch
boring
for
game I've ever
-2
seen.
yards.
Yeah, it's terrible. So,
all right, my running back is Travis Etienne. He's also my running back. 16.2. They played the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs are probably going to score, so that means the Jaguars have to score. They know it. We know it. And so Travis Etienne, literally the only guy in the backfield there that's worth a dang.
whoa.
And
Tank.
no.
Whoa.
So he'll probably catch, I don't know, 4 to 6 passes for 30 yards. I don't know. That's like, 7, 8 points. You get a touchdown in there. That's 14, and you got 20 yards rushing. That's all you need.
He's solid. He is solid. He is
Yeah,
the
he's
workhorse back, and so
That's why.
bang, bang.
All right, well, pass catcher.
My boy, Stephon Diggs, almost pulled it off for me last week in fantasy. He needed about 31. He got 27, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Projected 17.9. Playing at home against the Raiders. Just lost to the Jets. Josh Allen will figure it out. And I'll say this, Nair. If I gave you $100 to predict the first play of a Bills game, what would you put it on? Slant the Diggs.
Well, they'll probably run it first play of this game.
Because you have $100 on it. It's a guaranteed in half the games.
I had him on my team last year, and it was literally slant, Diggs, catch every
7
single
yards.
first play.
Bang.
Every single first play. It's like, how does the other team not know this? It's literally what they do almost every game.
It's actually almost smart to just get your best receiver, best player.
Yes, it's like a
touch.
3-step drop. It's a hike, 3-step drop.
Quick toss. Yeah, you know what you're going to the whole time. Yeah, 100%. So I have Stephon Diggs.
Every single time.
Yeah,
It's
they
money.
lost Monday night, like I said, to the Jets, whose defense was supposed to be pretty good. He had 26 points. I'm expecting Josh Allen to kind of throw all over this Vegas team.
Oh, yeah.
So they cannot go 0-2.
No, they can't.
So
I'm going to go A.J. Brown, projected 15.1 this week, playing against the Vikes. So
Thursday night.
Yep, Thursday night. Honestly, I just don't have a lot of confidence in the Vikes. I hope that they play well, but I'm not feeling super great about it. I just have flashbacks of last year, which was when we literally got dominated. So I think A.J. Brown is going to have a very good day. I mean, I think Brian Flores is definitely a step in the right direction and had a pretty good showing week 1, but it's a very tall task in week 2. Eagles didn't play very well week 1, so I think A.J. Brown is going to play quite well this year.
I mean, I think both. I think the whole
him and
receiving
Devontae
corps-
Smith
well, even Dallas Goedert could be up there. I mean,
are both projected 15.1.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I think you just look at it. I mean, Jalen Hurts. And here's the thing: we hope the Vikes play well,
We do.
but
We need
holy moly,
We need a good showing.
The Eagles are good.
Keep the spirits high.
And I think it's worse that the Eagles had a close game because now they're like,
Yeah.
gotta
That's true.
figure it out.
So we're gonna try and go 6-0 this week.
Yeah. Well, technically 6-0 and then 2-0 on our picks. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, shall we do Fave 4?
Fave 4 it is.
Let's rip it off.
We're switching up the topics, not sports.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Country artists.
Okay.
Country artists. Hand it to me. I think I called it last time. I did call it last time. That's good memory by me.
Nice. Heads.
Tails.
All right.
I'll go second.
Okay. I'll do Morgan Wallen.
Oh, okay, Chris.
Is that a good pick?
Yeah, that's decent.
That's obviously number one.
I'm gonna go with incomparable. Luke Combs is definitely up there. So I'm gonna take Luke Combs,
Okay.
and I'm also gonna take Old Dominion
Nah.
because I'm a one-man band.
Those are my top three as well. All right. I'll do Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
Pretty good concert.
Decent. Yeah, Kenny does put on a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show.
That was US Bank.
Yeah, it was.
Shitty arena to have a concert, but he put.
No, it's good. It's
Was it
good.
All right.
And I'm gonna go with. All right, this is a clarifying question. Am I able to pick Florida Georgia Line?
I would say yeah, because their songs are still
All right,
incredible.
I'll pick that.
Well, here's another question for you. I don't want to drop this on you, but I'm gonna drop it. Taylor Swift.
That ain't
Okay.
not
That was a question. That's definitely up for debate.
It's pop.
Well, she's now pop, but she was country.
No,
back in the day.
if you want to pick Taylor Swift, you only get
her country.
literally like
Her country.
the first one or two albums.
Yeah, which actually were decent. Our song, Teardrops in My Guitar, decent song, but I'm not gonna take them.
Stop making yourself feel better for naming
No, I'm not
songs.
picking them. It was decent though. There was a decent album. I'm gonna take Zach Brown Band.
Okay.
Toes in the Water, Ass in the Sand. You gotta just sing a little bit of their song so people think you know. And then I'm gonna take.
Do you know another song?
Bam! No,
All right.
Colder Weather. I do know Colder Weather.
Okay. Anyways.
My last pick. I don't know if I can call them this. I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna call them the Chicks. Dixie Chicks.
Well, they go by the Chicks. That's
Now,
literally
but
their
I'm
name.
saying back in the day when their music was popping, the Dixie Chicks.
Okay, so you have the Chicks.
Yeah. Are you gonna take Taylor Swift because I just named 8 of her songs? For
No,
the people?
no. I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna go with.
Last pick.
Yeah, this is the last.
We're only
pick.
doing 4.
Yep, say 4. Obviously, you only
Yeah.
get 4. I'll go with Luke Bryan.
Okay. Decent. Yeah. I'm not a huge Luke Bryan fan. I think he's okay. I think Thomas Rhett's in the same boat. I think they're okay. They peaked very early.
That's who I was between.
Oh, Thomas Rhett?
Yeah.
Thomas Rhett had a few good bangers.
Mhm.
Jordan Davis, also good. Shania Twain, great. For
Russell
one song.
D.
Russell Dickerson. I thought that's where you were going to go.
I
to be
love
honest.
Russell D. But
Russell D. shout out was at Ramble Jam. No. I think that was Old Dominion. That was at Ramble Jam. I don't know. I'm probably going to get yelled at by Kelly.
Russell D was at the concert. He was
Prior
the,
Lake.
No, he was the opener when I went to see Thomas Rhett.
Really?
Yeah.
Now he's just selling stuff out.
Yeah,
Jordan Davis.
But he was the opener for
Really?
Thomas Rhett.
That's a banging show. Here's
Oh,
a
yeah.
question though
It
for
was
you.
sick.
If you're a guy like him who could probably make your own whatever, like you could sell out.
Depends
shows.
on who you go with.
Yeah, but I'm saying like if you were the opener for Thomas Rhett, like that's sold out every time,
Mhm.
and people are gonna get there early.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly. All right. So what
Cole
was your
Swindell,
4?
decent. My 4 were Zach Brown Band.
You gonna go in order?
No,
Luke Combs.
so I can't go hard. Luke Combs, Old Dominion, Zach Brown Band, the Chicks.
There we go. My 4 are Morgan Wallen, Kenny Chesney, Florida Georgia Line, and Luke Bryan.
You think Florida Georgia Line will come back?
You
I
think?
hope they do. You know, there's been talks. I think one guy's really struggling. Not the good guy.
Might be. Yep. All right, y'all. What was that? Episode 6.
Episode 6.
See y'all later.
Skull
Get your
bites.
picks in.